All right, so today we're going to dive deep into the world of manifestation.
Oh, exciting.
Yeah, we're going to unpack this really fascinating episode of Manifest Your Life,
Okay.
where Host Jazz chats with manifestation coach Amaan.
I love that show.
Yeah.
It's really interesting.
We all know manifestation is like having a moment right now, right?
Yeah, it's everywhere.
It's everywhere,
It feels like.
and sometimes it feels like there's more hype than substance.
Yeah, for sure.
So our mission today is to cut through the noise and figure out what really works when it comes to making your dreams a reality.
I think what's so interesting about this episode is that Amaan tackles some of the most common misconceptions around manifestation head on.
Right.
He doesn't shy away from the myths,
Yeah.
which is refreshing.
Exactly. And the first myth he debunks is the classic, just think positive and it will happen.
Oh, yeah.
Look, I'm all for optimism, but I've definitely fallen into that trap before, thinking good vibes alone would magically solve all my problems.
It's so tempting to believe, right?
Oh, totally.
But Amaan uses this brilliant analogy of co-creating with the universe.
Okay.
It's not just about wishful thinking.
Right.
He emphasizes that positive thinking is like setting the stage, creating the right energetic environment, but it's action that actually brings those desires to life.
So it's more like a dance than a one-way street.
Exactly. It's about aligning your energy with your desires and then taking inspired action.
I see.
It's interesting to think about how this concept actually has roots in various philosophies and even neuroscience.
Oh, wow.
The idea that our thoughts and beliefs can shape our reality isn't just some mystical concept.
Yeah.
It's supported by research on things like neuroplasticity and the placebo effect.
Wow, that's fascinating.
Yeah,
It makes you think about how much power we actually have over our experiences.
totally.
Okay, so myth number one, busted.
Busted.
What's the next misconception Amaan tackles?
He goes on to address the myth that you need to be perfect to manifest.
Okay.
This is a big one because, let's be real,
Right.
who among us is perfect?
Right. It feels like there's this pressure to be constantly positive,
Yeah,
like some kind of manifestation robot.
totally. And that's where Amarin's message is so reassuring.
Okay.
He emphasizes that manifestation isn't about achieving some impossible level of positivity.
Right.
It's about your dominant energy.
Okay.
So even if you have doubts or negative thoughts creep in, as long as your overall mindset and beliefs are aligned with your desires,
Right.
you're still in the game.
That's such a relief to hear.
Yeah.
I remember reading about a study where they found that people who practice self-compassion were actually more successful at achieving their goals than those who were super self-critical.
Interesting.
It makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're constantly beating yourself up,
Yeah.
it's harder to believe in your own potential.
Absolutely. And it ties into the idea that progress over perfection is key.
Totally.
It's not about being flawlessly positive.
Yeah.
It's about moving forward, learning from those inevitable bumps in the road and continuously aligning your energy with what you want to create.
Okay. 2 myths down.
2 down.
What's next?
This one is a trap I think we've all fallen into at some point.
Okay.
Manifestation works overnight.
Oh, yeah.
We live in a world of instant gratification, so it's easy to get caught up in the idea that our desires should manifest instantly.
Oh, I've been guilty of that.
Hmm.
You start visualizing that dream job or perfect relationship,
Right?
and then get frustrated when it doesn't materialize within a week.
Exactly.
But MSCM brings up a really crucial point about divine timing, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
He emphasizes that sometimes things take time to unfold in a way that truly serves our highest good.
Okay.
It's like when you order something online and it takes longer than you expected to arrive.
Yeah.
You might get impatient, but then it shows up exactly when you need it.
That's such a great analogy.
Right?
And I think it's so easy to forget that we're not always in control of the timeline.
Right, and when we get fixated on a specific time frame, it can actually introduce doubt into the process. That impatience can create a kind of energetic resistance that blocks the very thing we're trying to attract.
It's like when you're desperately searching for something you've lost.
Oh,
And
yeah.
the more you stress about it,
Yes,
the harder it is to find. Then the moment you let go of that frantic energy,
totally.
it magically appears.
Exactly. There's a powerful lesson there about trusting the process
Mm.
and surrendering to a bigger picture.
Okay, 3 myths busted.
3 down.
What's the final misconception Amaan tackles?
He addresses the idea that you don't need to take any action at all.
Oh, wow.
This is where things get really interesting
Okay.
because it goes beyond just thinking positive thoughts.
Mm.
He talks about manifestation as a partnership with the universe,
Right.
emphasizing the importance of taking inspired action.
So it's not about passively waiting for the universe to deliver our desires on a silver platter.
Not at all. It's about aligning our energy with our desires and then taking tangible steps towards making them a reality.
Okay.
It's like that saying, the universe rewards action.
Okay, so what does inspired action actually look like?
Well,
Give me some examples.
Amaan suggests that if you're trying to manifest love,
Okay.
it might involve putting yourself out there socially, maybe trying a new hobby or being more open to meeting new people.
Okay.
If you're aiming for a career change,
Right.
inspired action might involve updating your resume, networking, or taking courses to enhance your skills.
Right. It's not just about sitting on the couch visualizing.
Right.
It's about taking those concrete steps that move you in the right direction.
Exactly.
But how do you know what actions to take? Is it just about doing anything related to your goal?
That's a great question.
Or is there something more to it?
And it's where the idea of inspired action comes in.
Okay.
It's about paying attention to those intuitive nudges, those synchronicities that seem to guide you towards your goals. It's about taking actions that feel aligned with your desires.
Okay.
Almost like you're being led by an invisible hand.
So it's about being both proactive and receptive.
Yes.
Taking action while also being open to those subtle signs from the universe.
Exactly. It's about finding that sweet spot between effort and allowing.
Okay.
And it's about trusting that the universe will meet you halfway.
This is giving me a lot to think about.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've debunked 4 major myths surrounding manifestation.
Going down.
But before we get too carried away, let's dive into what actually works.
Okay.
Amaan outlines a 4-part formula for manifestation in the podcast.
He does.
Let's unpack that in part 2.
All right, so let's unpack Amaan's 4-part formula for manifestation.
Okay.
Clarity, aligned thoughts and emotions, belief, and consistent action.
Okay.
It's not a magic spell.
Right.
It's a framework for actively shaping your reality.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
Break it down for me, starting with clarity.
Okay.
What does that actually mean in the context of manifestation?
Clarity is about getting laser focused on what you truly desire.
Okay.
It's not enough to say, I want to be rich or I want to find love.
Right.
You need to define what those things look like specifically for you.
So it's about painting a vivid picture.
Yes.
Getting granular with the details.
Think about it this way. If you were ordering a custom-made suit,
Okay.
you wouldn't just tell the tailor, I want a suit.
Right.
You'd specify the fabric, the cut, the style,
Yeah.
every little detail. Manifestation is similar.
Right.
You're essentially placing a cosmic order with the universe.
I love that analogy. It makes the whole process feel more tangible.
Right.
So once you've got that crystal clear vision, what's next?
That's where aligned thoughts and emotions come in.
Okay.
Once you've identified what you want, you need to cultivate thoughts and feelings that match that desired outcome.
Okay.
If your goal is to manifest abundance, but you're constantly worrying about money, you're sending mixed signals to the universe.
You're essentially contradicting your own desires with those negative thoughts, right?
Exactly.
It's like trying to drive a car with one foot on the gas and the other on the brake.
Yeah.
You're not going to get very far.
Exactly. And this is where practices like meditation, gratitude journaling, or even just consciously shifting your inner dialogue can be so powerful. It's about training your mind to focus on the positive and cultivate a sense of alignment with your goals.
It's about getting your inner world to match your outer aspirations.
Yes.
I remember reading about a study where athletes who visualized themselves succeeding actually performed better in competitions.
Wow.
Their brains were literally rewiring themselves based on those mental images.
That's a great example. It shows how powerful our thoughts and beliefs can be.
Right.
And it leads us to the third element of Amokassian's formula.
Okay.
Belief.
Belief. Okay.
You need to truly believe that what you desire is possible for you.
Okay, but what if you have a history of self-doubt? I mean, let's be real. It's easy to get bogged down by limiting beliefs.
Yeah.
How do you actually cultivate that unwavering belief in your own potential?
That's where things can get tricky. But Amaan suggests that it starts with acknowledging those limiting beliefs without judgment.
Okay.
It's about noticing those negative thoughts that pop up and choosing to challenge them. Ask yourself, is this belief truly serving me?
Right.
Or is it holding me back?
It's like those weeds in a garden.
Yeah.
You have to pull them out so that your desired plants can flourish.
Exactly.
So it's about being mindful of your inner dialogue.
Yes.
And consciously replacing those negative thoughts with more empowering ones.
Exactly. And it can also be helpful to surround yourself with people who support your dreams and believe in your potential.
Right?
Their positive energy can be contagious and help you reinforce those positive beliefs.
It's like creating a positive feedback loop.
Yes.
All right, so we've covered clarity, aligned thoughts and emotions and belief. What's the final piece of the puzzle?
The fourth element is consistent action.
Consistent action.
Okay. Amaan emphasizes that this isn't about taking massive, overwhelming actions.
Okay.
It's about those small, consistent steps that move you closer to your goal, even if they seem insignificant at the time.
It's the compound effect in action.
Yes.
Small, consistent efforts adding up to big results over time.
Exactly.
Reminds me of the story of the bamboo tree.
Oh, yeah.
For the first few years, it seems like nothing is happening.
Right.
But beneath the surface, the roots are growing deep and strong. Then suddenly, it shoots up, growing rapidly.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
It highlights the importance of patience and persistence in the manifestation process. And remember those examples of inspired action we talked about earlier?
Right.
Those are perfect examples of how consistent effort can make a real difference.
Okay, so just to recap, Amaran's formula emphasizes clarity of vision, aligning your thoughts and emotions with your goals.
Yes.
Cultivating unwavering belief and taking consistent, inspired action.
And what's fascinating is that these elements work synergistically. Clarity fuels belief. Belief empowers action. And consistent action creates tangible results, which in turn strengthens your belief. It's a powerful cycle.
This is starting to feel less like magic and more like a practical roadmap for creating the life you want.
Yeah.
It's empowering to realize that you have more control over your reality than you might think.
Absolutely.
But before we wrap things up, I'm curious about your final takeaway from this deep dive.
Okay.
What stands out to you the most?
What really resonates with me is the idea that manifestation isn't just about getting what you want. It's about becoming the kind of person who can attract and create those desires.
Right.
It's about personal growth, self-discovery, and aligning your inner world with your outer aspirations.
Yeah, it's like that saying, you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are.
Right.
So working on those inner shifts is just as important as taking outward action.
Absolutely. And that brings us to a really thought-provoking question that Jazz poses at the end of the episode. She asks her listeners, if you could manifest anything in your life right now, what would it be?
Ooh, that's a good one.
It's a deep one.
And I think it goes beyond just identifying a specific goal.
Yeah.
It's about tapping into that deep inner yearning, that thing that truly lights you up.
Exactly. And then she takes it a step further, asking, what's one small step you can take today, however small, to move towards making it a reality?
Right.
It's a powerful call to action, reminding us that we don't have to wait for the perfect moment or have all the answers before we start taking steps towards our dreams.
I love that she emphasizes that even the smallest action can create a ripple effect.
Yeah.
It's like that quote from Lao Tzu, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.
So true.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get overwhelmed by the enormity of our goals
Well,
and forget that even those tiny, seemingly insignificant actions can create momentum and shift our energy in a powerful way.
It's about taking those baby steps, trusting the process, and being open to the unexpected ways in which the universe might meet you halfway.
I love that.
So to our listeners, we challenge you to answer those questions. What's your vision? What's that one smart step you can take today to move closer to it?
Yeah.
Maybe it's finally starting that creative project you've been putting off.
Yeah.
Reaching out to someone who inspires you, or simply committing to a few minutes of daily meditation.
Those are great examples.
Whatever it is, remember that you have the power to co-create the life you desire. It's not about passively wishing, it's about actively participating in your own evolution and aligning your energy with your highest aspirations.
Well said.
This has been such an insightful deep dive into the world of manifestation.
It has.
We've busted myths, explored the mechanics, and hopefully sparked some inspiration to start consciously creating the reality you truly desire.
Absolutely.
Until next time, keep believing, keep taking action, and keep manifesting your dreams into reality.
Thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive.